Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here. So the other day I went for a little walk with my sister and her little dog, and whilst we was out and about I gathered some of these because it's the right time of year to gather them. And these are hawthorn berries, you know, the common hawthorn, which are very predominant over here in the UK, especially this time of year. It's an ideal month to harvest these little fellas. Just give you a quick, these are some with the leaves just quickly for ident. This is the leaf of the common hawthorn. There's also another variety of hawthorn which is called the Midland hawthorn, which has a thicker, more spade-like shape to the back end of the leaf. So they're very easy to identify. And there's the berries, they have the little crown on the bottom of them. So not to confuse them with anything else. There are other berries this time of year that are similar to the hawthorn, but usually a lot brighter and a lot waxier in texture, as well as being brighter in colour. They're normally, you know, common in the UK as the related to the nightshade family, so don't confuse those berries with these. Pretty standard identification anyway. So that's the hawthorn berries. So basically what I've done, I've only stripped these with the leaves just for ident, so I can show you guys and lasses. So basically what I've done is I've taken a load of these berries, just picked them, and just got a couple of handfuls, as you can see, in this little tub here. And what I'm going to be doing with this is making some fruit leather, or attempting to, because as most of you guys and lasses know, that hawthorn berries are high in pectin, which is the solidifying agent that is used to make preserves, jams, that type of thing. So they're basically set, but obviously we don't want the pips. As you'll probably know, the leaves of the hawthorn tree are perfectly edible. They're said to contain properties which help people with heart symptoms, you know, troubles of the cardiovascular system. So let's get to it. So I've got my tub full of hawthorn berries. Got a little strainer here, dead simple little strainer. And what we're going to do is, don't get me wrong, this is a messy old job. I'm just going to throw some water into them hawthorns, and basically let's get mashing. So I'm just really pulping these up. I'll show you in a minute. So I'm just absolutely mashing the hell out of these. If it's picking up, try not to make too much of a mess everywhere. So we're just going to really give these a good old mash up. The water obviously just makes everything easier to work with, because once you do start mashing them dry, they become hard to work with, to be honest. So we'll keep going with this until we've got a nice gluey pulp. Yeah, quite satisfying this. Give it a damn good old mash up, just to break it all up. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. Like so. What I'm going to do, get myself cleaned up, and then I'm going to take that paste and force it through this little strainer here, this little sieve. You can use, you know, like Hessian sacking, or, you know, some sort of netted material to do this if you're in the field. But just for a demo, use this little strainer and lay it out on some grease proof paper. Basically I'm just trying to separate the pips out of the hawthorn, which will upset your stomach if you eat them, and we'll take it from there. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So what I've done, I've got my pulped hawthorn mixture into the strainer, which just by coincidence fits nicely into that little tub, which I obviously emptied. And I'm just simply pushing everything through now, through the strainer, which does take a while. So like I say, I'll cut back when I've done that, and I'll show you what I've got left in the tub. So I'll cut back to that bit of video. Thank you. Welcome back again. So what I've done, I've removed the pulp from out of the strainer. We can discard that, just throw that away. And as you can see, hopefully on the underside you've still got some of the actual strained, filtered, if you like, fleshy hawthorn material, which you can eat straight away as it is now. But what I've done, I've emptied the gloopy contents that was left in the little tub there out onto the I've got a piece of greaseproof paper here, but you can use a piece of old tarpaulin, carrier bag, whatever you've got to hand. And basically what we're going to do now is just spread that about into a nice thin layer. So don't have to be pretty, just try and make it reasonably even, not that it matters. The thinner you get it, obviously the quicker it will dry. It's probably too thin there at the end, so I'll just double it back a little bit and leave it at that. Now over the next 24 hours, if I just leave this as it is, the pectin within that will start to solidify and set into like a fruit leather. It's quite nice actually, it's surprisingly sweet. You can, once this thing has actually started to set where it sustains its own shape, you can then peel it off and hang it over a drying rack if you've got a low ember fire going, not necessarily to cook it, to smoke it through, just to speed up the curing process. The same, you could put it on a baking tray and put it in the oven on a very, very, very low heat, or on top of a log burning stove, etc., something like that. But because I'm in the shed, there's no flies or anything going to get at this. I'm simply going to leave it on the bench, leave it overnight. I mean, I've probably added too much water, as you can see, so it might take a couple of days to actually cure and set into a usable piece of fruit leather. Once it has set, this stuff will keep 6, 7, 8 months, and it's a great little trekking nibble bit to have on you, you know, that you can just take out your pocket, your rucksack, and just nibble on while you're walking about. So I'll leave it at that for now, and what I'll do is let the time elapse, let this do its thing, let it set, and I'll cut back to the next bit of this video when we can actually use this stuff. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Welcome back. So a couple of days has now passed. I've had the fruit leather just drying naturally, open to the air. I covered it up with another piece of material. Now, although it isn't absolutely set and cured as it should at the moment, I've not introduced any heat or offered it over a drying rack or anything that I would recommend if you're going to do this for real. Just thought I'd quickly show you the process basically. It has set to a degree. It has darkened due to the pectin content, so, and I don't want any comments about what this stuff looks like. Let's keep this channel clean, please. I'm perfectly aware of what it resembles. So let's go. I've peeled some of this stuff off. It doesn't look very appetising at all. However, don't judge everything by how it looks, like peanut butter or anything else, you know, Nutella. Like I say, no smutty comments, please. It is surprisingly sweet. Now, what I would suggest is, if you're going to make any of this stuff, don't add as much water as I did. That was a mistake on my part. And try and use a coarser form of straining sieve. So a piece of netting would work better for this. Because I've done it so fine and so thin, as in the water mix, it's taking forever to dry. Now, I would recommend building a drying rack over a low ember fire and really use the smoke rather than the heat or the flames to cure this, drive the moisture out, and it will then become very rubbery in texture. But at the moment it's holding together just, it's still too moist really, but it has darkened off to like a leather like a leather texture, which is what we're after. You know, that's what we're aiming to do. Once it's set to a consistency where it doesn't stick to your fingers like currently it still is doing, then you can store it in a pouch, a leather pouch, a Ziploc bag, whatever you need. Let some air get round it though, don't completely seal the bag up. It needs to breathe like any natural food, and that will last for 6 to 8 months. Great little free nibble bit, little survival food, wild edible, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I thought I'd quickly share that one with you. That's the fruit leather. As appetising as it looks, not. It is actually surprisingly sweet. It's full of vitamins and minerals. Highly recommend going out there this time of the year, this month. Get yourself some Hawthorn berries and have a go. Why not? Anyway, thank you all very much for watching again. Hope you enjoy some of my daft little videos. Take care out there. I'll see you soon. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah!